I'm so excited but also a bit nervous. I'm just the way to go to Scotland Slider meetup. I'm a massive introvert, so talking to other people is scary, but people in Scotland are so nice, so hopefully it'll be fine. I also printed everyone a couple of sheets of my new stickers. I just cannot believe that there will actually be planners for using them, even if I did have to give them myself. Anyway,
hope everyone has a great day.
Stick around for workshops, insights and more. First, I got to speak to these lovely two ladies.
It was from another Scottish meet actually that we started, and we grew a friendship from it, and we're mad.
Yeah,
We're mad, and we like to put ourselves through this every year. But no, it's great fun, and it is great when everyone comes together and just seeing how they enjoy the day.
Yeah.
Because everybody plans slightly differently, so seeing like everyone come together and just get excited over stickers and paper and pens, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of joy out of it.
Sometimes it can be, there's a range of people with kind of different expectations and things, and you know, sometimes that's quite kind of difficult to manage, but most people are lovely, and it's been lovely this year. It's been quite stress-free, hasn't
we've
it,
been
really?
quite stress-free, so I think we're becoming maybe organising proms.
Yeah.
It does get easier the more you do it, but
Yeah,
you know, like there is a balance, and you can't please everybody.
Yeah,
and I think
that's it.
as time's gone on, as the years have gone on, we've kind of just realised that, you know, like we'll go with the majority and not concentrate on the minority where it doesn't quite work for them. There's one in 2019 actually in Perth, and we learned a lot through that first one because the venue wasn't the best for disability access. And the extras on top, like today we obviously have a lovely room with team coffee, and the previous place that we used, it was per head, so you know, like it adds price onto ticket, because the main thing that we try and do is a little bit of fun but keep the price as low as possible, so that we can open ourselves up to like a market even of people who don't have a lot of money.
We hope to keep it like that, don't we?
Yes, that's the plan, to keep it affordable for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Aw, thank you so much. Next, we have some great workshops. Here are some of the teachings. I have never heard of zines. This is what they are.
But it teaches you how to make zines. They're basically just the booklets, and you can fill them with anything you want. I fill them with stickers that I don't know where to put, like, you know, the stickers, and they're sitting and you're like, I just can't put them in that book. I put them in a zine, and you can stick these like into your planner. They're a good way to kind of do something creative without having too much pressure on yourself, so that's what I use mine for. So you want to fold it in half like normal, like this. Once you've folded it in half, if you pull it back out again and then fold up the way, so opposite direction to what you've just done. Once you've folded it, it should be like a big cross shape. So what you're going to do, the easiest way to do it is if you put your fingers there so you don't fold past it, and then fold, I can't do it while I'm standing up because I need a table, but if you fold down to the middle, and if you just repeat that on the other side as well. So if you open it back up, and then it should look like this, you should have 8. So if you fold it down the middle into that size again, you need scissors for this bit. So the scissors, and at the folded side, cut across to the middle. So after that, if you hold it like this, so it looks like a wee house shape, and then if you grab one side and the other side, and it's going to feel like it's going to rip, but it won't, and pull it out the way like that. So it'll pull out the way, and then it'll look like this as if it's folding in on itself. That's fine. And then fold that in.
We also had great sheets for brain dumps and tasks.
Processing your thoughts can be a real problem with that, and I think that everybody struggles with that sometimes as well. So this is the system that I use. It doesn't work for everybody, and it does not always look cute and all this kind of stuff. It's usually scribbles everywhere. When I have an idea, I have no idea how to execute it in any way, shape or form. So the first thing that I do now is I try and solidify what the idea is, what I want from it, all of that good stuff, and then I task dump. I just write down every single thing that it would take for me to achieve that, no matter how small, no matter how big. I write everything down. And then that way I can see like, okay, is this actually doable for me? Do I have the equipment I need for this? Do I have the time for it? All of that kind of stuff. And it means that if I don't, I can put that idea aside and I can be like, right, that's not for me right now. And I can get it out of my brain. It's written down, I can come back to it if later on I'm like, actually, I've got the equipment now, I've got the whatever now, or I can save up and buy it, or but it gets it out of my brain and I'm not fixating on it. If it is something I feel like I can do, I can take all of those tasks and I create an order of attack, which I put them down in what order they need to be. Having an ADHD brain means that nothing I think is in order in any way, and I really struggle to just understand what order things needs to be in. I've called it project plan because usually that's what I'm working on, but it could be anything. It could be like clearing out a cupboard, it could be decorating something, it could be planning for an event, it could be anything at all, but that's what that sheet's for. You're welcome to use it however you wish. The next thing involves a little bit more explaining. This is a specific system I don't know the name of. I've stolen it from someone else. It is not
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I love this one because it takes out the things I don't actually need to do but think I need to do. What you do, you write a huge list of your tasks you need to complete and everything goes on that. This is your brain dump list of absolutely everything. You then pick out what you think you actually want. Like this is your goals, your real wants for life, and there's usually only about 3 or 4 things that you really want. So for me, I want to do everything, but actually realistically at the moment, I need to get my degree, I want to keep my shop going, and you don't want to know what my house looks like, so I need to sort that as well. So all of the tasks that are associated with those things, I then write them down again. That's my separate list of these are the actual tasks. And I work out what section these things go in. So here you have the urgent things and the not urgent things. Up here, these are the do ones. These are the ones you can do quickly, you can basically do now or within the next week. They're the ones you need to focus on, they're your top priorities. Then over in the not urgent one, you have schedule. These are the things you can probably get done next week, within a month. They're not urgent. Your world's not going to fall apart if you don't do them right now, but they kind of need done, but they're not like now. They're not urgent. You schedule them into when you can do them. Down here, it's usually called delegate. I tend to call it like help. These are the things that, yes, you do need to get done, but they're not a top priority that you do them. So for this, I do things like, what housework tasks can I allocate to my children? I do pay them below minimum wage. So here I'll put like the things that I can get help with, that I can rope in friends into helping with, that I can delegate to my kids, or that I can outsource online as well. So things that I think, oh, I need to make this, I need to do this, actually I can possibly buy from somebody else. I don't need to take on everything all of the time. I can outsource that by just buying it pre-made. Delete, the favourite one. All of the stuff that I think I need to do, that I think is important, loads of it isn't. And they can just get wiped from my brain. I don't need to do them right now.
There was also a great workshop on leather and responsible shopping.
Quick and easy steps to work out if what you're buying is leather, and this applies to anything: planner covers, bags, belts, like anything you can think of leather. Step 1, does it smell of leather? So it should feel soft, it shouldn't feel plastically, and it should smell of leather. And I will always say to you, if you're buying online, have a look at the item description or like details, specifications, and usually you've got a listing, maybe you've got a little, like a picture on one side and a bit of information on. Scroll all the way down and look at the little writing, the small writing, because it should tell you what it's made of. Don't necessarily listen to what these adverts, or you need to take it upon yourselves to do the research.
Last but not least, a very inspiring talk on journaling.
I was just going to talk a bit about how I started journaling, and then why I journal and why I still journal. So, do you know what? I spent hours just sitting, just that stream of consciousness journaling, just writing anything and everything that came to mind. And it was amazing how different I felt from just getting all of that out of my head. And I found it really cathartic to be able to also read back through the hard times. and see how much better things were, even if they didn't feel great at the time. A few years ago I started working in the hospital and I was helping doctors revalidate their licence to practice. So the main thing that they had to do there was reflect on their practice and reflect on their mistakes. And you know, doctors' mistakes can be quite severe, but as long as they could sit and reflect on what they do differently, how they're going to ensure it doesn't happen again, and everything like that. And that changed my style of journaling, because it made me realise that if I'm having a bad day, I just need to ask myself the right questions to feel better about everything. So the sticker sheet I had for you had just a few different questions that I would ask myself, or when I was working there with the doctors, I'd ask them. So, having a bad day, or you've had, you know, something's gone wrong, what could you do differently? You know, could you have changed what happened? Sometimes things that go wrong are out of your control, you know, and what's the point stressing about something that you couldn't have changed? Also, like things like, it's a bad day. Stop, just don't think about just the negatives. List 3, 5 good things that happened that day. And it doesn't need to be something amazing. It could just be that you had 5 minutes of peace to drink your cup of coffee while the kids were out. You know, it could be the tiniest little thing, but if you're having a bad day, focusing on those little things can, I'm not saying just think happy thoughts and everything will be better, but you know, it makes things a little bit easier. It makes things look and feel a bit brighter. That is, does it really matter? You know, you've had a bad day, something's happened, or you know, or the other one is, does it matter what other people think of you? You know, a lot of people will not do something because they're so concerned about what other people will think, or don't want to dress a certain way because of what will other people think. Does it matter? As long as you're being true to yourself and you're happy, then yeah. So that's one of my favourite questions to ask. If this is something that isn't going to hurt anyone else, does it matter what other people think? I stick bits in from my journals and stuff, and sometimes it's nice just to flick back through and it can cheer you up. Yeah, and then obviously on the bad days, which there have been some in this one, there's a lot more writing. So I started journaling because I was struggling with my mental health. But then, in recent years, it became apparent that I probably just had ADHD. But so many of you put your hands up then.
In between all these workshops, we all had a chance to meet each other, and everyone was so wonderful and friendly. They really were. We, of course, got a goodie bag filled with planner goodness, and some beautiful planners brought little gifts for each other that were homemade and wonderful. We had lunch, and there was also a raffle, which was always exciting.
261 to 265. Oh, 261. Yay.
There were some great prizes to be won, and you can choose from whatever's left. I chose a Carpe Diem planner, which is now a serious threat to my happy planners. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along. It really was a great day. If you recently been to a planner conference and you got all these stickers, you might enjoy my sticker hacks video. Check that one next, and I shall see you in my next scrap session.